Hey everyone, welcome to today's call. This is Greg Kononenko here, the caffeinated blogger, and thank you so much for jumping on the training with us today. I think you guys are absolutely going to love the presentation today because this is something that I've never ever seen before. We're going to show you how you can flip a $5 domain into $1,000 or $1,500 over and over again. You can do this all day. You can do this automatically. You can do this without having to broker or make any calls, no sales calls needed. So we're going to run through all of this today. And before we dive into the details, just want to make sure that everything's all right technically. So if you can hear me, just put a 1 in the chat box, please. Put a 1 in the chat box if you can hear me. Cool. Awesome. Okay, getting the ones coming through. Great. Excellent. Thank you for that. Now, we're going to actually walk you through step by step. You're going to see it happen in real time. You will see how this method actually works. My guest here does this all the time. He's the leading expert on domaining. So he's going to show you how to buy domains for as little as even $1 or $5 or $10, and then flip them for $1,000 or $1,500 each, or even more in many cases, much more, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. And he's been doing this. He's been in the domaining game for over 20 years. He recently developed this new method, this new way of doing this, and he sold 2 domains, bought and sold 2 domains within literally hours for thousands of dollars. He's going to run you through the examples of this. Okay, so this is better than crypto, better than Forex, to flip a couple of bucks into 1,000 or more quickly. And you will be hearing this method firsthand from him today. You're going to learn how to do this all for yourself. You don't need any experience. You can replicate the results that you're going to see today. So turn off all distractions, get ready to take notes. This is going to be potentially life-changing for you. And if you're ready, then okay, let's get ready to get started. So this is my special guest. His name is Jamie Lewis, and he is the world's leading expert on domaining. So Jamie, handing over to you. Are you there?
And we're live. Hello, everybody. This is Jamie Lewis, and we're going to be talking about how to turn a $9.99 domain into $1,200. In this very webinar, I'm going to show you a live demo. It's the same demo that I was able to do $3,700, 2,200 of which was done within 7 hours, and then the remainder of that $3,700 came in 2 weeks. All right, so this is a very powerful strategy. I'm going to be doing a lot of education as well, talking a little bit about the recipe. And so, if you're unfamiliar with who I am, I've been in internet marketing for 20 years. My main talents are domaining, music, video, and product launches. Those are the things that I'm good at. A lot of other people are good at other things, right? But those are the things that people know me for. So if you were to go on Facebook and say, hey, who's the best guy to learn from when it comes to domains? They might say Jamie Lewis, because I've done over $1 million with little tiny domain sales. We're talking $200, $400, $800. And then just recently, we've cracked the code and we're making $1,200 and $1,500 sales like clockwork from, again, $10 domains. All right, so before we get started, something that you could do that'd be really beneficial to all of us is hit me up in the questions box. Tell me about yourself, where you're from, and all that good stuff. I'm very questions box orientated. One of the first things I'm actually going to do is kind of give you guys a survey. I'm going to ask a few control questions, so to speak, right? And get an idea of how advanced you guys are at this. If you aren't, it's totally fine. We're going to talk a little bit about what a domain name is. We're going to do that pretty quick and jump into the bare bones. I'm sure a lot of people here know what a domain name is. So we're going to talk about the different stages, the game. Everyone wants that 1, 2, 3 step plan, and that's exactly what I'm going to do for you. Me and my students, we make full-time livings with domain names, buying domains for $9 and flipping them for hundreds of dollars and sometimes thousands of dollars. All right, so that's the name of the game. I'm going to show you guys how you can do it too. And let's get started. Great to meet everyone. Thank you so much for blowing up the questions box. All the awesome enthusiasm. Great to meet you too. So, we'll come back to that in a little bit, but let's jump in, okay? You guys ready? All right, yeah. So close the door, make sure that there's no distractions so you can pay attention. It's gonna be dynamite. So let's talk about domains. All right. So in the questions box, we've got a lot of, we got Hank. Thank you. Thank you for all of your awesome enthusiasm here. All right. So we got Hank, Eldon, Ross, John, Katsy, Cliff, Donna, Tom, a lot of people in here in the questions box. So thanks so much. Let me know if you guys know what a domain name is. I'm sorry about the basic question. You probably do, but if not, it's okay. So, all right. So Eldon has 30 domains. Yes. All right, great. All right. So next question, I'll try to make this quick. So do you guys, here's a little out of the, out of left field question, right? Do you know what Estabot is? It's a good question. All right. So I'm going to be, there's a yes. Scott Hall. I think I know Scott Hall. Wow. All right. Well, Steve knows what it is too. All right, but there's a lot of nopes. I don't know. I would say it's about 60%, maybe 50%. There's yes, no. It's a lot of that. So that's pretty cool. All right. So I'm going to be speaking to, all right. You know what I mean? This is going to be good. All right. So you guys know what domains are. You know what Estabot is. Let's jump in then. That gives me a good idea. All right. So basically, you guys are aware of the fact that sometimes domains sell for millions of dollars, right? And these are examples. I want you to just take that in and take a look at, I don't know what, if you see this in the corner, one lineage sold for $80,000. What does one lineage mean? But it sold for $80,000, right? And of course, we know about that. We know that domains sell for millions of dollars, right? In this webinar, we're going to talk about kind of like the recipes and the chemistry of what makes a domain, what domains are available, how we can find them, how many of them are available of that type, and then the recipe of what makes a domain valuable, and then the price ranges that we sell them for, the importance of how to kind of put technology appraising aside, and then use common sense, be able to have kind of like a mental algorithm about it so that we can analyze a domain just by looking at it and say to yourself, like, well, that is probably worth this, based on the monetization potential and all of that stuff. So you guys are aware of that, right? Hit me up in the questions box. Let me know. I hope you don't mind. I'm very questions box orientated. I'm always asking you questions and jumping in there and stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, so I start with control questions and stuff like this. This slide is pretty much a control slide. You know what I mean? So I can understand where you guys are at. All right, so this is something I love talking about, okay? So as Todd was saying, I do a lot of teaching people how to do internet marketing, and just straight up, I'll teach normal folks how to make money online. And it's based on, when I started doing this, for the first 6 years, I did music niches. My first product on ClickBank was a hip hop beats website, and I got very successful with it. I bought a BMW. All my friends and family kept hounding me. How are you doing this? How are you doing this? How are you doing this? Because they saw how much time I had free. So it was like an autopilot model. And so they were hounding me. And then I had an affiliate program online, and it was in my best interest to start to teach my affiliates how to promote my stuff, right? How to promote I had hip hop beats websites. I built a drum machine. That was a big offer. And then I had like dating websites on ClickBank. So that's how I started teaching it. I started teaching it because I really did sincerely want to help people, because if I didn't help people, they got jealous and stuff like that. That's how it really originally started. So since then, and I started doing webinars twice a week in 2011. Since then, I've taught everything. And this staircase you can see here in this slide, everyone can see this staircase. There's all these different business models, right? There's, in the beginning, agency. That's the easiest and doesn't take as much money or time to start it, right? You get paid first, work later, right? And then domains, it comes second. This is like second grade. All right. Again, easiest, doesn't take too much money. Ebooks is the third. Like I have elderly students who, 81 years old and they're on Kindle, right? So and that's why that would come third. So by the time you get up here, here's email marketing, SaaS, PP, pay-per-click marketing, high ticket webinars, all that stuff comes later. And I've had experience doing all these models, of course, like SEO, blogging, YouTube, etc. But these are the really easy ones. And you know who invented this or created this staircase? Was my students. So every time, even though I teach everything and I go onto a webinar, I'm like, I feel like this week I'm going to talk about YouTubing because I just did a new YouTube channel. It's awesome, etc. So I'll teach all that stuff. People send me emails and they go into my Facebook group and they say, hey, I made my first sale. And everyone's like, how'd you do it? And they're like, with domains. So that's why domaining comes number 2. It couldn't come number 1 because again, we got to go by like, how fast can you physically get the money in your pocket? Nothing beats agency, right? Because I mean, you could go on Craigslist and you could say, hey, I'll do your video editing for you. And you get a payment within an hour and it's in your bank account within an hour because it's PayPal, right? So, but domaining is the second easiest thing to do. And so I really, I need to illustrate that before we jump into what I'm about to talk about. So here's some examples of Afternic sales. Now, quite a while ago, and I could show you my, I'll try to do this seamlessly and show my browser. So quite a while ago, you guys would have seen like in my email here, this is my email. Before they switched to Afternic, I was making all these domain sales with GoDaddy. And then as you can see, there's literally hundreds of them that pour in. And then after a while, we started using Afternic. And this is all my Afternic sales pouring into the email box, right? Now, we after we moved from GoDaddy, we jumped into using primarily Afternic, and that's what all of my students, they're always sending me all of these screenshots and like, oh my God, I sold this, I sold it. It's really like there's sometimes where I'm like, man, I don't want to talk about domains. Like in the Facebook group, like I'm like getting ready to talk about a big project I did, and I wanted to keep it as a surprise. And then someone will post in the Facebook group, they'll be like, yo, I bought a $1 domain and sold it for $30,000. And then now we're all talking about that, right? So it's like, I can't get away from the fact that this is just constantly happening. But this is what's very popular. And I'll go into the kind of like the stage, the step 1, step 2, step 3 process with this. But nowadays it's really primarily happening with Afternic. And I really have to illustrate the fact that people are making all of this money with domaining, although I'm teaching all of the different stuff. And I'm very good with video, very good with YouTube. I got like over 30 million views on YouTube. I've got videos where it's only 100,000 views and the video literally made 6 figures from a video. I've got YouTube videos that have sold domains. So getting into that fusion, you know what I'm saying? Fusion of business models and everything. But these are examples. And as you can see here in these screenshots, these domains are not really very good. All right. So this one, orderessay.com, sold for $4,000. Order essay. I know what that means, and it's following the recipe. Like, you'll see the domains that we're finding with the software, and you'll see what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Not that good, like watermarkhigh.com, $550, right? But it happens. It happens, and it happens like it's the stupidest thing. It's like you literally click a button inside your GoDaddy account and it adds it to Afternic. And then you sit back and then you get an email and it says like your domain sold. There's nothing else like that, right? So, again, I wanted to reiterate that, although me and Todd are both big video guys, but this is something you can't get away from. And it's always something that you can look at it like however you want. It's a side hustle. It's the backbone of your entire business, whatever, but we're always going to be talking about domains. You know what I'm saying? So here's the recipe, everyone. This is the educational portion of this. I made it really simple. You'll notice in this deck that it is like very simplistic. All right, so check this out. So I made it Very easy to understand. All right. So basically a good domain name. All right. And of course, like I have a program, my program is Prime Domains, right? And that's not something that people are really searching. It's not following this recipe. It's a brandable. But we want to talk about the recipe of buying a domain name and it has this actual value to it. Similar to if you went on Facebook and you were like, hey, everyone, I've got a BMW 645 and it's got 30,000 miles on it. I'm selling it for this much. Everyone will be like, all right, yeah, you got the pricing right. You go to Kelly Blue Book or whatever, and there's no argument. It's like, yeah, my sister might want to buy it, right? So we're talking about domains like that. And that's why they would sell so fast, is because everyone sees it and they can identify that it's worth something. So these are actual domain sales too. I'm going to show you guys a quick video demo where I actually sold domains in the video. And it's edited, so you guys don't need to wait 4 hours. It took 4 hours. So we're going to get into that video in a little bit, and you'll see topless contest. Here's the example, right? And toplesscontest.com. I'm not the best English major, but adjective and a noun, right? So it's like describing a thing, okay? So an adjective and a noun, 2 words, all right? And it can be a .org, .net, .com. I'm not really too much of a stickler about extensions like that, but what happens with extensions it's kind of like a hand of cards or something. Like it'll bring down the value. Like a .com is king, right? So a .net will be like a .com will be put it this way, a .net will be 90% less value than a .com, and then .org is like 95, and a .info is like 99, and the .biz is like 99.5, all right, percent less. So if you had like 2 words like callonline.com, if callonline.org sold for 1,200, then callonline.com would be 12,000 or something. You see what I mean? So yeah, I think I explained that pretty good. So an adjective and a noun, all right? And remember, no one cut corners, because the minute you cut corners, it's going to wreck the value, okay? And that's like dashes, numbers, misspellings, double clingers, where there's like, say if this was topless satisfaction and there was 3 S's in a row, that kind of brings down the value too. A verb and a noun can also work, right? So it'd be like an action and a thing. So it'd be like climb mountain, all right? And then you'll notice also that when you follow this recipe, a lot of the time people are searching those things, all right? But that's the next portion of this, is that, look, we don't want to purchase domains that only get like 300 searches, all right? But again, this is the recipe of like an exact match keyword domain where there is an ongoing industry where there are buyers for these types of domains, whether it's like people are starting a Shopify store, or they sometimes, because they're appraised and because they're comparable sales, which are king, better than appraisals, people identify them and just purchase them up, and they are available for $10, okay? But when you're selling them, you're doing them a service, because it's a lot of the time is very difficult to find them. You know what I mean? So far, a little bit of a review. You want to make sure that there's 2 words, and it would help if it's like a verb and a noun, and then a lot of searches, like 10,000 to 500,000. And then the last thing, which is really important, is after you've like, okay, check, right? Well, is that item like worth a lot of money? Like one of my students sold like what are those glasses? Smartglasses.org or something like that, okay? Now, smart glasses are kind of expensive, right? I mean, I don't know a lot about smart glasses, but they're like $600 or something, right? Like Google Glass or whatever. So it's like $700. Now, if you had like colored pencils and with the same extension, right? So coloredpencils.org versus smartglasses.org. Smartglasses.org, you know, is more expensive than colored pencils. All right. So you see how it's kind of like a balancing act there. It's like, well, what if colored pencils gets like freaking 20 million searches? Well, then that's gonna bring up the value. So it's kind of like a number and word game all at once. You know what I mean? So that's why we were talking about how I built the software. That's what I'm going to get into. And you know, don't worry, you guys are going to get, even when I show you the software, you're going to learn a ton from just looking at it. It's like we're all beside ourselves. It's a month old and we're just like, what on earth, you know? So that's the recipe. Everybody understand so far? Any feedback? Any am I speaking okay? And somebody said there's music in the background. Oh wow. Oh, you guys are so sweet to me. Thank you. Well, you know, you guys being sweet, like you guys being at least positive, that helps me teach better. You know what I mean? So oh, thanks. Thanks. Appreciate it, Katsy. Thanks, Eldon. All right, cool. Oh, all right, good question. Just real quick, you guys mind if I just answer this fellow's question here? What about other country domains like .ca? Man, you got me with a good question. You ever notice when you try to buy one of them, you know, sometimes it gives you a problem? You know what I mean? So we don't really, we mess with ones that are easy and cheap. You know what I mean? That's a good question. You got me, man. Yeah, you know, I would say, you know, I went over like the .com, .net, .org, .info, and then .biz is horrible, right? We know that. But look, if it's like freaking motorboat.biz, okay, well then that's still going to be worth something. It's not. It's remember, we're looking, you know, below 99% of what if it was motorboat.com. Think about it. If you know, if it was computer.com, it'd be like a $20 million domain name or something, right? Now, if it was computer.biz, it would be like 200,000 or something. Do you see what I mean? It's like a 99% type of thing. I hope I have my math right there. But yeah, I think that is probably. So I've been doing this thing. So I've been doing the domaining thing. I got like a lot of the time in my mind, I just have kind of things like, kind of have like an instinct about it. You guys will get it too. And it's something that, you know, you got, if you're in internet marketing, no matter what you're in, video, whatever, you need to know this stuff, you know? All right. So anyway, that's the recipe. It looks like you guys understand what I'm saying there. Okay. So now you guys know that's what you'd be looking out for. And again, I will be hardcore. I will really be, what's the word for that? Cutthroat. My opinions on domains that don't follow this recipe. Look, a good brandable name, like like we know, like we put out products. I put out products. Sometimes you don't want this recipe for a product name or brandable name. You know, like me and my wife put out a product that she did a product called Crypto Prophecy. And that is not an exact match domain. It's a funny name. You know, it's like, oh, Crypto Prophecy, right? Like, oh, find out what crypto is going to do. You know what I mean? Or like film degree, or well, that actually, I think that product name was actually a keyword name. But you guys, you get my drift. Like Todd has brand names and they're not things that people are searching for until he launches the product. You get it. So I didn't want to contradict myself. But that is pretty much the recipe. All right. So here's an example of an exact match domain that we found with the software. All right. So that's a verb and a noun, and it's a .net. So if that was a .com, it would be worth, you know, I think we have the price $1,200 for this. So again, it would be probably about 12,000 for a .com. Okay. But this is the type that is a good example. So you guys see that example, very simple example. And I can't wait to show you the next thing. This is another example. It's a little bit different. It's an adjective in a noun. The same extension, .net. These blue bars, I had that from my video. I put the blue bars over the domains because I put it on YouTube. So I'd put a demo of my software on YouTube. And you know how it goes on YouTube. You have like, I could potentially have like like my other domaining videos, like 100,000 people see it. So I didn't want to give people things for free. And I also didn't want people to learn my algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So I gave them like a sneak peek of one of them. But then, the other ones that we find in the software are different. So that's why I put the blue bars there. But so you see this. This is important because in the next slide, I'm going to show you a comparable of this to explain why this would be worth something. All right. So this one's fineleather.net. All right. So check this out. When you do a comparable search, finewatches.net actually sold, and I didn't sell this. GoDaddy is reporting these sales. These are comparable sales. These are recent actual sales. So finewatches.net, remember we were looking at fine leather. It's not as good as Fine Watches. I'll admit that. But finewatches.net sold for $2,600. FineTouch.net. All right, Fine Leather is better than Fine Touch. What is that? What does Fine Touch mean? Still sold for $500. Vintage Jewelry, of course, very good. 788. I think that was a low ball too. That's very vintage jewelry is better than that. Whiteleather.net, not a fan. 588. I don't think people are searching that. I'm always looking for the searches, Customtailor.net. Okay, I know what that means, right? Finehome.net. I don't like it. I don't really like it, but it still sold for that's the biggest one, 2,688. So this is king. All right, comparables are better than appraisals. People are always like, oh, it says it's appraised at this or that. Look, when I sort some of these domains, I'm going to show you the software in a little bit, and I have screenshots too. I have both. I'll show you live and both. But when I do searches and we sort by the searches, by the keyword searches, then you really get good domains. And the appraisals are all over the place. Appraisals are really done by robots. Like with these APIs that we use and the softwares that we use, they're really done, but it's just like robots. But what we did recently, of course, I'm jumping the gun, spilling the beans, but we started using AI, right? And that's what's so exciting is it's like we had, we didn't have AI for years. We're doing domaining software, really trying to find the needles in haystacks, and then AI is really helping us kind of, bridge the gap in finding domains based on comparable sales, if that makes sense. All right. So do you guys see what I'm saying here? So you see, you understand this concept, like where I talked about fineleather.net, that was based on actual the word fine. And then it's also, because GoDaddy is also using AI a little bit too. And so they're able to show you exact similarities based on that algorithm, like with the verb, noun, adjective, noun, right? But also that word, actual words. All right. So that's king. Comparable sales beat appraisals every time. Do you know what I'm saying? Jeff asked a good question. He says, is this domain flipping or website flipping? Mainly domain flipping. I was going to get a little bit into website flipping. That's one of your options, of course, but this is the first stage is, of course, I'm teaching you how to flip a domain right away. Like if you want to flip a domain right away without anything, just the domain and do it easily, then this is a good recipe. Hope I answered the question. What is the average days in the market before a sale is made? That is a really tough question to ask, but in that video, man, I'm telling you, it sold within hours, and the other one did like two weeks or something. Are you saying, John asked a good question, are you saying a .com worth 1,000 is only worth 95 as a .biz? Maybe even less than that, dude. I hate to say it. But I mean, think about it. The thing is, man, is you can find .bizes that are worth $1,200. Like I'll show you. All right. So, .bizes aren't, I didn't mean to dog on them that much, but yeah, I think you're right. You're right about that. It's probably, yeah, if a .com is worth 1,000, then those same words as a .biz would be worth like $50 or something, But it's good to think that way. You know what I mean? Here's another example of comparables, guys. All right. So we did a little bit. I do the mastermind webinar, where I help people and I develop their sites for them and stuff. I promise like total done for you solutions, And so people come to me and they're like, all right, dude, I have computer chair. How much should I sell it for? Computerchair.org. So what I did was I did a search with Estabot for all different types of chair.orgs. So, because computerchair.org, Estabot said it was appraised at like $500. And I called BS on Estabot because Estabot is a bot. It's a robot and it messes up all the time. And sure enough, it was based on these really bad comparable sales. So I had to do my own comparable research, right? So I did a search for cheapchair.org. We're not going to use that one as an example. We got computerchair.org. It's pretty good. So I did a search again, a couple more searches, and I found officechair.org was appraised at $17,000. The robot was comparing, again, based on comparable sales. So when you go to sell computerchair.org, you're going to bring up the fact that officechair.org sold for $17,000. Do you see what I'm saying? So it works better than an appraisal. Sometimes an appraisal can really do you wrong. Now, buyers, they'll appreciate this. They're not going to ever say to you like, well, that's not a good example. Are you trying to, pull a fast one on me or something like that? They will not do that because they appreciate this kind of intellectual philosophy rather than relying on what robots say. You know what I mean? Sure, you can always bring up appraisals, and buyers sometimes like the appraisals, but you just be fair and transparent, of course. Domains are the greatest like that. You could go on your Facebook page in front of your friends and family and be like, hey, I got officechair.org for sale. Anyone want to buy it? And they're not going to be too mad at you. Like if you went on your Facebook page and you're like, hey guys, I'm promoting so-and-so on JVZoo. Will you buy through my link? Everyone would be mad at you, right? They'd be like, dude, this isn't the place for that. If you go on, you get my drift. So again, show the comparable. It's the way to sell a domain. All right. So this is an example of, it's actually my Afternic account you'll see these examples. This happens all the time and it happens automatically. You never have contact with the customer, et cetera. It's all automatic. Like you click on the button, list it for sale, and it sells. And a lot of the time we have marketplaces and, before I built the marketplace in Prime Domains, I had a YouTube channel and I would do videos like tutorial videos and I'd sell domains from the videos. But nowadays, I started seeing my students, they were listing them through Afternic and they were selling within the first 24 hours and hand registered, which goes against everything that I had learned. A little bit of background was that was my original instruction when I started teaching domaining in 2016 was I was like, hey, guys, when you buy a domain, you also have to advertise the listing, right? So my students, I'd say that's the step one is buying it, finding it. That's the hard part. Step two is listing it for sale. Step three is advertising the listing. People would get to step two and they would sell and they'd send me an email and say, Jamie, thank you. I had my first sale, et cetera. And I'd say, well, cool. How'd you promote it? How'd you do it? How'd you promote it? Did you do what I told you to do in step three? Be like, no, I didn't even get to step three. I'd be like, oh, BS. But this kept coming. It kept happening. Now I found out this one example I'm thinking about the first time it happened. You know why that happened? Because he bought it from an expired drop list. So when these expired drop lists get put out every day, there's 10,000 people looking through that expired drop list. So if you grab one of the expired domains when they first come out and you list it for sale, if you list it for an affordable price, like think about it, $100, but you got 10,000 buyers already looking through that list. So they're looking for something available. A lot of things aren't available, but then they come across yours and it says $80 or $100. They're like, oh, that's not that bad. Boom, they buy it. And so I call that the quick grabber method. And I got all these. I've now been teaching that, and not to contradict myself because I still do believe in promoting your listing. But I got a student. Her name's Bruria. She lists domains that are hand registered, that aren't even from a software like mine or from an expired drop list. And she thinks them up in her head, purchases them, and then they sell. She does them on Dan.com. She does them on Brand Bucket. If you can't make this up. It's ridiculous. Like I mean, literally, like, and so it kind of like goes against the rules. Like you'd be thinking like, well, Jamie taught me to do it like this. It was even easier. So I'm just trying to like prepare you. Sometimes you buy a domain and you list it and it doesn't sell, right? So that's why we have different stages. And that's what I'm about to teach you guys. All right. So here is something that I started doing a long time ago. All right. And admittedly, I haven't done this in a while. And that is selling websites. And that's what this other fellow in the questions box had asked about. So these are some of my website sales. Okay. So on the left, that was a sale I made on eBay, 180,000. This one was in the middle was one I did on Flippa, 238,000. And then here on it to the right, these are sales all over the place. One of them was for actually 420,000, but the guy gave me a deposit, so that's why it's only 336. And then I had one for 26. You can see the 96 for. So I was selling a lot of websites before I sold domains. Like I've been doing that for a long time. Like I used eBay, of course. Like that eBay sale was 2010. You know what I mean? So I've been doing this for a long time. Like I learned Flippa pretty well. In fact, a year ago on a webinar, people were like, Jamie, you don't do anything. I would teach people. I'd say, well, you could do a starter site and you could sell, because I have a student who sells starter sites on Flippa. And so I was like, it's a really great idea to do starter site sales. So they were like, all right, well, put your money where your mouth is. And so I listed a bunch of starter, which is basically a domain you just develop on it really quickly and list it for sale. I did that, sold all 4 of them, right? So this is the third stage. And this is representing number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Domain, Flippa, broker, right? So $1,000 for just a domain. That's kind of like the rate of the types of domains we can find. And then Flippa is 5,000. Flippa, Flippa starter site, 5,000. Flippa, you remember the 238,000 sale I did? This type of Flippa sale, established site, not a starter site, and then a broker. And that's how I was able to get the 420,000 sale. And that's based on 24 to 36 months of revenue. And this is based on 10 to 15 months of revenue. And these don't require revenue. All right. So that's like a little bit of, it's not just, hey, let's purchase a domain and flip it. Like, hey, if you can't do the quick grabber method in 24 hours, then move on to the next one. So it's like almost like guaranteeing that this investment you made and the time that you invested is going to pay off, like 100%. If it doesn't pay off the first time, then you get to the second stage, you develop on it. I don't know what else to say. I listed, and I'm kind of like more experienced with selling domains by themselves or selling websites for hundreds of thousands of dollars than I am with starter sites. But I also noticed that a lot of my students were selling the starter sites. I was like, what the hell? So I started to just be transparent about that, All right. So here's some other examples. This is what I was telling you about Bruria, this student I have. She's a very good example because every couple of days she tells me another one of these. And here are actual examples of her selling these on dan.com. And she also did brand bucket, as I was saying. But this one was freshfumes.com for $2,500, right? This one was another student of mine, Kimberly. She sold repair for free for $317. And then this guy sold a domain for $30,000, and he posted in my Facebook group after buying it for $1 and selling for $32,000. And then this guy, John, he posted in the Facebook group, he was saying he got prime domains. And this answers this other fellow's question. I think Thursday I bought domain, on Friday it sold. So he bought it on Thursday using prime domains, and on Friday it sold. So, and again, the philosophy is only $10 domains, or in the case of Sean, he bought it for $1. And the way you buy them for $1, sometimes you have a coupon. You guys probably know about that. All right, so look, I want to show you guys this video, all right? And it's based on this, okay? It's based on how if you guys go and try to do this yourself without software, a lot of the time, we get frustrated, things are taken, So without further ado, let me show you this video, and I hope it works. If it doesn't, it's okay. I got slides. You know, we can jump into the software live, but you guys got to see this. You won't believe it. It's ridiculous. All right, so here's the video. And I don't know if you guys can still hear me, but I'm going to click on play. All right. Hit me up in the questions box. Let me know if you can see it and everything too, okay? All right.
What's up, guys? It's Jamie Lewis here. And last night, we finally finished our AI domain software. We finished it last night. And so I woke up, crack of dawn, got my morning coffee, and here's the exact time. 6:11 it says, May 29th, 2024. And let's get started. What we're going to do is we are going to find some gold mine domains and attempt to sell them online. We got the camera rolling. We're going to make sure we get everything on tape. Let's jump in. Let's commence this case study of the century. All right, let's go. We are looking at the Prime Domains software interface. We're going to use some predefined prompts here. All right, so we're going to select these. And let's click on the button. So as you can see, the AI is searching for the domains right now. It's scouring the net, trying to find A, domains that fit our algorithm, that fit our requirements. B, domains that have just expired and are appraised at a good amount. That's using Estivat. It's starting to come up with results, as you can see. So we just want to let it think and go through this process because it's gradually adding them, as you can see there. Just one after the other. They are absolutely incredible. Look, we had to blur out the names because we want to keep the format, the formula, top secret. Our algorithm and those prompts that we're using, we worked really freaking hard on it. And as you know, there'd be so many eyeballs on this. Before you know it, everyone else is utilizing our algorithm just by seeing the results here. They are absolutely incredible. It's blowing my mind. And AI is still searching. It is still doing its job, finding dynamite, gold mine, absolute pure beauty right here. We're going to purchase a couple of these domains, and then we're going to list them for sale. And this time we're going to do it for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, and see if we could sell them right away. So when we click on the domain, it gives us these options. All right, we can further look at the appraisal report, check who is, etc. Or we can click on register, right? So when we click on register, it goes to GoDaddy. As you can see, that brought us right to GoDaddy and our domain is available, right? So we're gonna click on make it yours. Now let's purchase a couple other ones too. I wanted to do 3 or 4. Now I saw this one when it came out right away. So I'm going to purchase this one. Let's see if they sell. Let's list them for sale on Afternic, which is what GoDaddy uses. Once it's in your GoDaddy account, all you do is click on at the bottom here, list for sale, as you can see right there. And then you just put in your price. All right, so we'll do for this one, 1,500. All right, let's put in our price, 1,000. All right, let's put in our price, 1,200, publish listing. Awesome. That's how it's done, guys. Okay, guys, so right now what I'm doing is I want to get some eyeballs on the listing, so I am posting on the marketplace. All you have to do is enter the name of the domain listing on Afternic, and the price, right? And now you're going to get some extra eyeballs advertising the listing. That's it. It's very, very simple. Other than that, if it's a drop domain, we get eyeballs directly from the drop list. It's very fresh. People are still looking through that drop list. You're getting extra advertising here. Remember, we're selling these domains at a wholesale price. And what I mean by that is we sell it for 1,000 or 2,000, but the buyers, they'll turn around and they'll sell it for 10,000 or 15,000, and they'll get on the phone and they'll call companies and all that stuff. That stuff I don't do. We don't do that. So after this, that's it. It's just going to be a waiting game. I'll turn the camera back on if we get a sale, right? So who knows how long it's going to take. It should be good though. The names are dynamite. So hopefully we'll get a sale and we'll get it on camera for you. It finds the domain, and that domain is also an expired domain that just dropped. And that is very, very important for quick sales because we don't want to be sitting on multiple domains and just wondering if they're going to sell or not. We want some really, really good results very, very fast. And so therefore, the people looking through the drop list, they'll see the domain and they'll purchase it. So that was the idea behind the software. So guys, what was even funnier was in that Afternic account that I was using, that's a new Afternic account, and I hadn't used it. I hadn't logged into that email or seen any of the notifications. I'd been posting on Flippa. I actually did those 4 or 5 sales on Flippa. As you guys can see, it's all public stats and everything, and also in the webinars I was telling you about it, remember? But this was a new account, and so when I logged into that email, I wanted to make sure that the payment stuff was working and everything, right? Because I was like, oh, I'm actively going to be purchasing and posting on Afternic. So I changed the payment stuff, but then I see in the account and in the email that I'd sold a bunch of domains in there, and it was the type of thing where they didn't have the payment. So they kept emailing me like, hey, we have this money to send you. That was just a fluke. When I listed the 2 domains for sale in the past, I just clicked on list for sale, like, I don't know, maybe I was like showing people how to do it on a webinar or something. Like, it's like unintentional money being made. It's like you don't have the intention to make money and you end up making money. This is the only situation that I've ever experienced that online is with domaining. It's almost like there's this crazy demand for something that you can get in another dimension. And I'm going to start sounding like I'm a pothead at a music festival or something like that. But no, this is a serious thing. Yeah, that was a true story. I'd actually sold vaginitis.org. True story. That was the domain that I sold. You can see it right there. So, okay, I'll show you guys one of the domains. All right. I think you're going to really agree that it was a good idea that I blurred out the names in blue, because a lot of people will just be watching this video and then purchase my domains. There's like 10 of them. Those 10, I didn't buy all of them. I'll leave them up for you guys. I'll show you one of the domains. All right. I'll uncensor one of the domains so you can see the quality. Look at this quality. Fine leather. And then look at this one. Liftweights.net. Surprise, I wasn't pulling your leg. It wasn't like, I'm censoring the domains because they suck or something. I mean, they're really good. Look at the comparable stats. GoDaddy is telling us here domains that are similar to this one and how much they've sold for. Look at the pricing, guys. GoDaddy's appraisal has gotten much better too. Look at that. It's using comparable sales for the appraisal. So those are actual domains that sold for those amounts. And then look at the domains that we're finding. You see what I mean? Other than that, those are the only ones I'm going to uncensor, because of course we don't want people just watching this video and then I get to purchase domains for free that these guys did all this work finding. Leave that up to me, the members, and my friends, you guys. Okay guys, so let's log in. I'm gonna log in first of all to my email here, and we're gonna see if we've sold anything. We got a sale. Holy mackerel, we got a sale. Nice. That was quick. Get the hell out of here. We just got another one. We just got another sale. Oh my God. This is just the beginning, guys. The minute I saw those domains, I said to myself, they're gonna sell fast. Absolutely incredible. This is, without a doubt, the most powerful cash generator I've ever created. I'm going to be making millions of dollars this month with this software. It's unbelievable. I really have to be careful about where I say this online, obviously. I mean, people are going to want my head. It's going to make people so mad, the fact that I obtained this. For that reason, this is going to be extremely limited, guys. I'm not going to be showing this to many people. You know what I mean? Or not many people are going to be able to get into this. Yeah. This is freaking powerful. Holy mackerel. Unbelievable. Oh, I just got the notification and it finally sold. Guys, don't do what I did. 1,500 was too much. Took way too long, right? The more affordable you make it. So you get the drift. The video keeps going on and on. Like, that is so insane. There is one thing
that is not in that video. I had edited it out because just time frame, the video goes on for a long time, which is I posted in the marketplace. Now you guys got to post in the marketplace to get results like that. I mean, it's not, you know, 1 second, let me put in my thing. But obviously, okay. So I had done, you can't see the screen right now. I just wanted to log in and everything. Check this out. So I know the blue, you know, censorship was annoying. I just did a search and didn't have the video on. So you come in here. This is how you select one of the pre-built prompts. So it's not like you need to think. And then you click on find domains. So because I had that the blue censorship, I wanted to at least show you guys that it is real. So discountlaptops.org. All right, look, now you guys can see how I'm giving you stuff like this is just the value scale is kind of crazy because I kind of want some of these. The thing with AI is people are using this right now. We're using this, but AI will find it. AI is weird, you know, as you guys probably already know. Sorting by keyword search. Jesus, look at that. Buyheadphones.biz, findgames.info, cheaphandbags.info. So obviously .info is 99% less than a .com, but look at the keyword. Look at the searches, look at the keyword. And then you have also, remember we talked about the monetizable factor, how much the item is. Okay. Also, another indicator is if you see everything has been taken, and that's funny. I told you biz is so crappy that sometimes a lot of the time you'll see that everything is taken except for a .biz. Even the .us is taken, right? So do you guys see what I'm saying? Like we saw screenshots, you guys don't want to see anything more, you know, you don't want to see any more of that, but you know, this is a great, you had to see the example of domains that are selling, like domains that Brewery has sold, domains that Kimberly sold, domains that I sold, domains that other people sold. And then look at this, newcars.biz, buyheadphones.biz, vintagedolls.info, findgames.info, cheapheadphones.info, cheaphandbags.info, cheapguitars.biz, discountwatches.info, qualitytools.info, discountlaptops.org. I mean, good grief, right? And if, you know, so remember I said that comparables were king? They really are, because it's an umbrella for all these different factors. You can't really go by just appraisal. You can't go by keyword search, because then what if the keyword CPC, what if the monetize factor is down, right? So that's an example of how we're doing this, you know, and that's an example of how the software works. And you know, as Todd was saying, I think I went over everything. I would just say I can't wait for you guys to freaking use this with me. And you know, it really is like doing it with me, because what will happen is in a little bit we'll give you guys access, and then you can jump into the software, start using it, and then come to the Monday mastermind. Okay, so every Monday I do a mastermind where there's probably 10 to 20 people on there at any given time. And in that mastermind, I'll give you a link to the Facebook group, and you can jump into the Facebook group with all my other students that are selling domains. And then you'll also have my personal email, so I can kind of keep track of you. So when you're looking at domains and you're like, hey, you know, you might want to ask me like, Jamie, what do you think of this one? What do you think of that one? And then, you know, we do that first stage, the easiest part, the quickest way from A to B. We try that first. You know, we try to just list the domain for sale. And then after you've listed it for sale with Afternic, you know, something that wasn't in the videos, then you go to the marketplace, which is here. And you list the domain for sale here, and then this link will go to the actual domain listing, right? So then people will purchase it. So here's an example of some of the domains that people are listing for sale. productsupport.net. Craziness. Onlinecomputer.org. And I mean, I'd be honest with you, even, you know what I mean? Like just showing this on the webinar, you guys probably see what I'm saying, right? Like fancywatches.net. There's no joke. And then the way I teach too is like, I'm really hungry for the testimonials, and I'm sure people really they appreciate this. Okay. You could probably get a heck of a lot more for fancywatches.net than $300. But that's the way I teach, is I'm kind of like, you know, I don't want you guys to have a tough time. I know a lot of the time in my industry, there's so much stigma, and people purchase so many of these products, and then the spouse is upset with the guy or the girl buying these biz ops and stuff. So I really help out with that. You know, I try to get people quick sales, but you know, at the same time, I don't want to contradict myself. You could probably sell fancywatches.net for freaking $3,000 or something, right? Or maybe even more than that. All right, so you see what I'm saying, right, guys? So thank you. Yes, so although you guys think it's you guys think it's so amazing in here, I did have one more last thing to show, kind of go through I wanted to be proper and go through some of these, just quickly explain exactly what we're going to give you. Okay, which is very customary, as you could imagine. It's very important. So you know, verbally, I am a very verbal guy, but you know, these are the things. There's a lot of stuff inside. So just to reiterate, I'll just go through some of this, and then we're going to give you a link, and there's that ridiculous coupon that we're giving you guys, so you guys can jump in, start using the software, and again, keep in touch with me every step of the way. Come to the mastermind on Monday, and then come on Wednesday as well. You know, we finish up. The Monday is kind of like a done for you one, and that's how I advertise it. I've been doing it for 13 years. So I've been doing twice a week, and it's always been that way, where it's kind of like Wednesday is the showcase, show and tell, and then Monday is kind of like the done for you. That's the way I've always advertised it. And so I kind of get my hands dirty and I do these things, and that's what I wanted to show you. All right. So these are the main elements, although there are all those other, you know, tools and drop lists and all that good stuff. And there's a vault. So you guys want expired domains? It's also in there. So, you know, because the AI Finder software, which we were just looking at, finds keyword domains that may not be expired, but they're just really high quality, right? And it's the first time we're able to do that. So you get the AI Finder software. And then what's very important is the marketplace, because the marketplace is also public. It's not just advertising it to buyers inside the members area. And then there's the hand-picked expired domain vault. All right. And so that's going through our algorithm. And we just like how they hand build a Ferrari or whatnot, we look at every domain and make sure that there's no garbage in the list. And then there's the mastermind twice a week. So those are the elements of this. And then some of the things that I didn't mention, I didn't want to overwhelm, are of course, like you'll get my personal email. When you sign up, you'll get a welcome email, and it includes my personal email in it. And then the mastermind is where I'm going to give you access to the Facebook group. I don't have it listed in the members area. All right. So let's talk about the AI Finder software just really quickly. All right. So as you can see, we actually did use it, and we were, you know, did a search and found all of those different domains. But these are, again, I know the blue censorship was annoying, but these are actual examples. Mountainbikesforsale.org, right? Treadmillsforsale.org. Ridiculous, you know, valuable domains. Now, of course, you also have those other stages to it. Like, so if you don't make money right away, selling the domain right away, then you develop and turn it into a Shopify store or a GoDaddy store or whatever and sell treadmills. Then you drop it on Flippa and then it sells. And it's really no debate about it. You're going to have, unfortunately, if the auction doesn't sell, you're going to have hagglers emailing you afterward. You guys have probably experienced that. And I really don't enjoy that process, the negotiation progress. I mean, you saw those starter sites I sold on Flippa. They weren't for a heck of a lot of money. They were like $600 or, $200, $400, $600. and I'm not going to ever do that again because, I can't be doing that for only but some people might want to though, if you're looking to, to escape rat race or something like that, yes, that is one of the really guaranteed ways, I mean, again, I can't legally guarantee anything like that, but you get my drift. You're going to have hagglers, because you did the work for other folks. And those people, those buyers on Flippa, they resell them. So they want to get inventory. So they come to you, you're kind of like as a wholesaler or something, right? So that's the software. You saw how it works. It gives you the appraisal, which uses the Estabot and the domain index APIs, and then gives you the keyword, gives you the searches and the appraisals and the how much the item sells for, how much that keyword sells for, right? All right. So next, I'll talk really quickly about the marketplace. And the marketplace is easy. There's not many slides on this. It is very, very simple. You not only have all these different marketplaces that you can sell on, but I really recommend keep it simple and use ours because it's already on Afternic. So you're selling it on Afternic, which is this first red button there. I wish I could use the highlighter, but, and then you put in your domain name, your listing URL, and then the price, and then add the listing. So it helps get eyeballs. It helps get extra juice to your Afternic listing. Again, it can sell just on Afternic, like my students are doing, but why not get extra eyeballs, from not only our members, but on the public end. All right. So now let's talk a little bit about the handpicked expired domain vault. The handpicked expired domain vault has domains like this. All right. And this was me sorting the giant list by CPC, okay, which is the monetize, okay, the cost per click. So it's, of course, you guys probably know, who knows what the highest keyword, you guys have already seen that mesothelioma is the most expensive keyword. It costs like $200 a click. You guys know that because the attorneys, they advertise, they advertise for people who had asbestos poisoning, and they sue for like $30 million. They'll sue a company for like $30 million, and that's why they pay $200 a freaking click. So what do you do with a domain like this? Well, the obvious thing, I have one student who's a great testimonial. He was flipping these things for 20 grand a piece, doing it over and over again. Anthony, he became a big guru too, Anthony Aries, but he was one of my big testimonials. And he studied with me, came to masterminds, and he was flipping them for 20,000, selling to attorneys. He would call up a personal injury attorney, and he would sell them a domain like this. And he'd be like, hey, so Wisconsin mesothelioma attorney, or just like, it'd be straight up domains like personal injury attorney, personal injury Tampa.com. So you call up all the personal injury lawyers in Tampa, Florida. And then you would say, hey, I got personal injury Tampa.com. I'll develop on it, and you'll be ranking number 1. You'll kill your competition. They'd be like, oh, wow, sounds good. How much do you want for that? So that you would do the deal that way. I find that pawn shops are super easy too to sell. So if you call all the pawn shops in Tampa and say, hey, I got TampaPawnShop.com, it's easy. They're used to people calling up and saying, hey, how much can I get for this? Again, you guys know what I'm talking about, because if you try to call a dentist, be like, press 1 for, press 2 for, oh, good luck. It's really difficult. But as an agency, you could do internet marketing work for dentists because they don't know anything about internet marketing. But I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but pawn shop, super easy. And then true story, personal injury attorneys, amazing. So again, you can also use this vault for, it's all expired domains. So you can use them for, the quick grabber method too, if you want to make that quick money looking through the drop list, when people are looking through the drop list. All right. So with the mastermind, typically it looks like this. That's me. I'm usually on the GoToWebinar like that. And we do it with GoToWebinar. And a lot of the time it is directed, the Monday one is really directed on the questions box. Well, what I do, this is interesting. This is an actual survey I do. I do surveys. And so at the beginning, I'll have, here's the link, guys, fill out the link. And so I have questions like, what do you feel you need help with? You know, did you buy these through Prime Domains? And it's funny, the people who say yes, they have good ones. People who say no, they didn't, they're not so good. You know what I mean? So this is a real life example. That's the way the masterminds start out. So you really can't go wrong. You know what I mean? But they're really driven off of that on Monday. Wednesday, more of a, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. This is, you know, teaching and presenting. But Mondays is more of like, all right, now we're going to do this. So I'll say, what do you need? And someone will be like, oh, I need a logo. I want to develop on this site. So someone had designer furniture. They found designerfurniture.net through Prime Domains. So I go into my AI assistant and I design a logo. And it's more of a logo. It's more than a logo. It's like a brand. It's like an entire theme. You know what I mean? So I get artistic with it. I've got good. I'm really good with AI. Not to toot my own horn, but so I'll do that and I'll design people's sites and stuff like that, like develop on domains for you guys and all of that. And it's a lot of fun. So those are like the elements, guys. You know, so I know we've been here about an hour and 15 minutes. So, you know, I'm sure you guys want to jump into the software and everything and you stop my yapping. So, oh, this is one last thing I forgot to tell you though. I also write out your listings for you. And here's another freebie, okay, which is that same example we talked about. Remember the computer chair? Someone on the mastermind wanted to sell computerchair.org. So I wrote out a computerchair.org listing. All right. Now this would be like for Flippa or for YouTube, wherever. And it is exactly, this is a very good listing. It's exactly what a buyer would want to see. You know, the search review and I didn't even talk about an appraisal. I just talked about that comparable sale. Crazy, right? I didn't even put the appraisal. I'm not saying appraisals are bad. Sometimes you can't find a comparable sale and you have to use the appraisal. But in this case, this is a $17,000, pretty similar. Computer, office, computer chair, office. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's a really good way to do it. All right, so guys, this is what we're gonna do is you guys are getting all of this stuff and jump into the software, email me, come to the mastermind, and I'll set you up in the Facebook group and I'll keep my eye on you and we'll make history. With that being said, just remember that it does come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And not only does it come with a 30-day money-back guarantee through the retailer Explodely, but if you don't do $10,000 your first month flipping domains, I will buy you 10 domains myself and do the listings and all of that. We found that, you know, just internally, this works so well. It kind of balances out both. People feel so comfortable. You got to feel comfortable when you're doing this, you know, without the pressure and all of that, and be able to trust me. You know what I'm saying? So that's my second guarantee. We kind of have both. All right. Look good. So yeah, people are very eager in the questions box. You know, what is the coupon? I see there's a few people. What is the coupon code? Does it cost a lot for a listing? No, man. No, not. Well, Flippa does, honestly, but not a lot. I think Flippa, what is Flippa? $10, $20, $30, something like that. But Afternic doesn't cost anything. They take a piece once it sells, like 10% or something like that. And then on our marketplace, you know, the only thing that you guys got to do is make sure that our bandwidth is covered and everything. Like we pay for the APIs and all that stuff. And so there's just a one-time fee. A lot of people are like, all right, give me the access. So here it is, okay? So to get Prime Domains, to sign up for Prime Domains right now, you can do so using this link that you can see on the screen right there, or you can locate the chat box in this very webinar. We're going to be posting the link in the chat box. You click on that link, you're going to end up on the order form through our retailer Explodely. As you can see, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. Jump in right now and let's start flipping domains. Now, for only those people on the webinar right now, from now until the end of the webinar, I'm going to be doing a very special bonus where I will give you my personal email. I usually never do this, of course, but I will give you my personal email so that you can keep in touch with me through the process. You can tell me about your adventures flipping domains, and I can use your testimonials, hopefully in the future, if you'd like to share your success stories with me. All right, so that's a very special bonus I wanted to throw in. It's not going to be available anywhere else except right here on this webinar. Get in, and then you guys are going to have the AI finder that you saw me demo in this very webinar. You're going to have the marketplace where you can advertise your domain listings. You're going to be able to come to the mastermind on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then just for you guys that get in within the next 15 minutes, you're going to also get my personal email. All right, that's a bonus that I would love to throw in there. All right. And just hit us up with tons of questions. We're not going anywhere just yet. Probably another 10 minutes or so, you know, probably good 90-minute meeting, all of us. So another 10 minutes or so. So nope, it's a one-time fee, Scott. It's a one-time fee, doing a 70% off. Just make sure to jump into the software, grab a couple domains, come to the webinars, bro, because that's where, you know, we can really find out how far you want to take it. You know, some people want to sell sites for 200,000. You know, they could find a domain. They're like, there's that creative spark, and you think to yourself, like, oh, I could build an incredible store with that. You know, and then go for it. Go for it. You don't need to just, you know, do quick flipping if you want. You can do, you know, broker stuff. Like, think to yourself, I'm going to purchase that domain. I'm going to develop on it. I'm going to get some traffic to it. I'm going to SEO it. You know, start making some sales with it. Sell a ton of treadmills, and then sign up with a broker like a year from now. If it does 100 grand a month and you sign up with a broker, then that's a $2 or $3 million sale. You know, me, I've never done a $2 or $3 million sale. I sold with a broker. I did 2 of them with a broker. One of them was 420. The other one was like 120. So those were like, I think the 120 was like 10,000 a month or something. And then, you know, so it was about a year. And, you know, that could be like, the broker could be like a little bit, I don't know, it's a lot more than Flippa. Like, you put something on Flip, it's quick. You know, it's just a 10-day auction and it sells, and the auction goes crazy. You guys can look on Flippa in public. Check me out on there. It's Jamie Lewis. You'd see my past auctions. They're crazy. And, you know, sometimes people purchase sites from me on there, and then they become gurus and stuff with the site. You know, that's the beginning of their, you know, careers or whatnot. Hitesh Janunja was somebody who he ended up a big ClickBank career or whatnot after that. Andrew X also was one of, I don't know if you guys ever heard of that guy. He was one of the cats who bought a site from me way back in the day on eBay. And then Norby Bandon was also another guru that purchased the site from me. You know, so these people were newbies, but they purchased the site, and then they had the list and everything. True stories, you know. So that's the thing. Like, once they start making money, then it's a whole nother ball game. It's not just the you know, the domain name value, the leads, etc., but it's also how much money it's making. You just then at that point multiply it by the months, you know, like, so on Flippa, 10 months, broker, you could get a little bit more, like up to 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Cool beans. All right. So, yeah, let's see. Oh, great questions, man. Oh, Ross has actual domain. Oh, you have those. Do you have those? Ooh, those are good. Yeah, man, I like those. Those are your domains? He's got robots.info. He's got millionaire.info. Those are crazy good, man. So those are like, I don't know where you pick those up, man, but those are like Flippa sales. So you could be a little, you know, treat it a little bit more serious. And, you know, because again, everyone has a couple $100, but not everyone has $10,000, and you might be able to get $10,000 or more for some of those, even though they're .infos. And I talk bad about .infos and .biz, like we're not talking hundreds of dollars anymore for those. You know what I'm saying? So good luck with that, man. Good stuff. Really good stuff. So yeah, so you guys, I see you guys jumping in and everything. That's awesome. Just remember that it is important to jump in, because as you saw, there are some really, really good domains there right now. Now, again, AI seems to find them, even though people purchase and you click on that red button multiple times, there's more domains. But of course, jump in immediately so you can grab the good domains that were in there. Like you saw that one page, like the actual screenshot of what the page looked like tonight. There's multiple pages and there's multiple prompts. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to jump in ASAP, jump in immediately. All right. I mean, I don't mean to put on the pressure, but it's yeah, you guys see what I'm saying. So anyway, so far we got Winston got in, Thomas got in, George got in, and those are the cats who got in so far. That's quick too. And I love your questions, guys. I have a bunch of look at this guy, Verender. I have a bunch of domains such as bestinCityX.com. What do you think about those? Best. Oh, I see what you mean. So bestinatlanta.com. I don't know, man. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. Best in Atlanta, is that, or best in, you said City X, I'm thought of Atlanta, but best in Toronto, best in Atlanta, best in Cincinnati, is that what you mean? .com? I don't know. Best in, did you do a keyword search with that, like with Google Keyword Tool or something? That's the best way to do it, man. See if there's searches, and then that's a good question. I mean, or do a search with the software, dude. There's a search box. You know what I'm saying? So remember, you don't need to pay for like Estabot or SMrush or any of that stuff anymore. You just use this. You just do all your keyword research when it comes to domains with primedomains.ai. You know what I mean? Is there a replay Saturday? I don't know if we're going to be doing it. I would say I liked this webinar. I thought it was fun. I liked it a lot. Since 2002, Ross has had those. Damn, man. Yo, bro, I really hope to see you in the mastermind and in the Facebook group. Let's do it together, dude. Let's sell these domains together. I'll write listings for them and everything. And we'll be getting a little bit more for them. We'll do research and get a lot for them. Some of them we might be able to develop on, like millionaire.info. That could be cool. It could be like, have you ever seen that one website where the guy, Celebrity Net Worth? You ever seen that website? It could be like that. It'd be a list of millionaires.info. It's like with these authority type domains, they're perfect domains to flip though, because a lot of them, it's like we develop on them. Well, how are we going to make money with them? Like cellulite.biz, perfect domain to flip. Like, because when you think about it, like we're going to develop on it, like what would we turn it into? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I really hope to see you in there, man. Like you'd be perfect for the clan. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for getting in, bro. Nice. John is in. All right, so y'all getting in. So you dug the webinar, huh? You dug the software? I'm telling you, guys are gonna freaking love it, man. If you could tell, I'm like so excited about it. I was like me and my programmer, we spent about a year doing it. I didn't tell you guys that. And it's like I was just blown away. And at the same time, it was like the AI makes it so that I can share it with you guys. I can share it with I shared it with my son, with my wife, like I share it with you guys. And I still have tons of domains and selling tons of domains. Like just it's like the coolest side hustle ever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that's fun to do, easy to do. I make thousands of dollars with this. And then And you guys have, again, since I teach it, it made me a better domainer because I didn't know that. I didn't know that domains would sell just from people looking through the drop list. If it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for me teaching it, and you guys didn't tell me what happened or what worked, so it's like goes full circle. You know what I mean? So, you know, and also to be honest with you guys, like in the masterminds, I'm always like I yell. It's funny, you guys you'll see the replays too, the replays of the webinars in the members area. There's like 300 of them. I mean, there would be more, but I think I went back to like 2019 or something. You're gonna see me like recently since this came out. You see me, I'll like, you know, just jokingly like yell at my students. I'll be like, why are these domains still there? I'm like I have to tell people like, oh my God, you guys better buy that. You know, like it's hard to get people to take action. You know, you could imagine. So, you know, you might think like, oh, Jamie, they're going to take all the good domains and stuff. Like, it's hard to get people to purchase domains. But again, like what I'm going to do when I get off of this webinar is I'm jumping in there and buying a bunch of domains. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I saw a couple that I really liked as well. So it's like, because there are always new ones. And AI is so weird. And I mean, it does have to do with the fact that domains drop, they expire. But I don't know. I mean, it's just you click on the red button and it finds a list of domains and it'll have, all right, here's the list. All right, it's done searching. You click on the red button again, it adds domains to the list. You click on the red button again, it adds domains to the list again. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Can you reach out to me by email? Yeah, man. Like once you're in, everyone who gets in tonight is getting my personal email. And then I want you guys to reach out and tell me the domains you got. And I would love to have crazy testimonials. Like when I go to Vegas and I see all the gurus, that's all we do. I mean, you guys might not know this, but all we do is like compete with each other, like who's the better teacher and who has more testimonials and who's more authentic and legitimate. Like that's all we do. And then a lot of the time we rank on it. You know, I'm a nice guy, but a lot of the time people, the gurus are all, you know, like will mess with each other. It would be like, oh no, you're illegitimate. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we competing a lot of the time, like trying to be the better teacher. So get me testimonials. You know what I mean? Like once you guys get in and you make sales, that's why you're gonna have my personal email so you can tell me. Please tell me. I mean, I can't force you. It's up to you if you want. But please tell me when something good happens. And like with this cat who has like the millionaire.biz already, all that, my job, I think the value is going to get out of this be not only using the AI software, but I can write listings for him. And what was your name again, man? Was it Ross? So yeah, it's gonna be kick ass. So Chris Mills says he can't wait to get started. I guess Ross Ross, we're gonna kick some ass, man, you and me. That's the fellow who has the all right, so yeah, dude, thank you so much for your value. Those domains are crazy. Donna says, how do you get on the mastermind? So Donna, once you're in the members area, you'll get access to the members area. Am I showing my screen? I am not. Okay, all right, let me show my screen. I mean, let me show my browser. All right. Okay. So once you're in here, you know, click on AI Finder, right, as you see in the navigation, and do a search like I just did. All right. I did the monster search. All right. And as you can see, it's finding us different ones now. It's found buyfootwear.net. So Donna, so when you first get in, log into the members area and you'll see in the navigation it says dashboard, AI Finder, Vault, remember the expired domains, sell domains. That's where you're going to click there to add something to the marketplace. Then the marketplace, that's where it shows all the domains that are being for sale. Appraiser, lead generator, drop list, zone difference. Like lead generator, remember we were talking local, like when you call up attorneys to sell them stuff, right? So you're going to get all that stuff. And then the mastermind right down here. So it's in the navigation, mastermind. Click on mastermind, come there, and then I'll give you the Facebook group link and I'll do stuff for you, like write you listings, logos, it all starts with that survey. And then webinar replays is underneath Mastermind. All right. And then support is right here, this link there. But other than that, I mean, you are going to have, I don't think you're going to need support. You're going to have my personal email, right? I mean, and it's kind of like, it's Jamie, what do you think of this domain, et cetera? But if you need it, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? So two different lifelines, so to speak, All right, hope I answered your question. Thank you so much, guys. Really the feedback is extraordinary. Thank you so much. Is dronecrazy.biz have any value? No, but make a drone store out of it. It's a great brand name. Sure, even though it's a .biz. A lot of the time with brands, don't worry too much. With brand names, I just say have it radio station proof. I know it's a weird thing. What I mean by that is if you ever go on a radio station and they say, hey, all right, great to interview you, or nowadays it's podcast, but I come from the 80s. So it's like, so make sure that no one says, how do you spell that? Is right, wouldn't that, you know what I mean? Like, so it's good if you have a so that domain name that you have, dronecrazy.biz, no one's gonna say, they say at the end of the podcast, all right, great to talk to you, Eldon. What's the name of your website? You'd say, oh, it's dronecrazy.biz. All right, cool, dronecrazy.biz, everyone go there. It's Eldon's website, right? So there's no like, oh, how do you spell that? So that's all you need with a brand name is like, is it podcast proof or radio station proof? You know what I'm saying? But it's really like a brand name, dude. All right, Ross. Hell yeah, we'll include Todd, bro. Yeah. I've done a webinar from Todd's house one time, like one of these masterminds. True story. And it was while we were barbecuing. You know what I mean? Like I had the laptop. But a lot of the time I'm just here, like that office you saw in the video with the lights. I guess like I'm here a lot of the time creating and stuff. It's like home office. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I guess like I like working on a laptop. I mean, what do you guys, do you guys have desktops or laptops? What type of situations do you guys, who is on a computer, or are you guys on phones? Is there anyone on a phone or? Yeah, it's very interesting. William says, do you provide a separate training? I do. Yeah, man. There's when you first get in here, there's a really good one. Watch this. This is like a masterclass right here. This video. This is a training video. Jump into that, and then I got to be honest with you. Aside from the vault training and all of that, jump into the webinar replays. They are freaking crazy. You guys got to jump into the replays. Look at how many replays there are. It's like ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. You guys gotta. I do a lot of drawing, like diagrams and stuff. I really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, no, there's tons of training, man. Tons of. I'm telling you, I know in this industry sometimes you hear people, exaggerate things, but I'm always understating things. There's tons of training, and then so it's videos, but dude, come to the masterminds and on Wednesday. You cannot go wrong. It's gonna be insane. All right, so here it is again, guys. Here's the link. That's the link to sign up. Jump in, and remember, you're gonna get my personal email because you were on this webinar. You're live on this webinar, and therefore I'm gonna give you my personal email so you can share your success stories with me. And I'll also help you along the way if you have any questions at all. Now remember, you can use this link to sign up, or you can use the link in the chat box in this webinar. So anybody else have any holdups, anything keeping you on the fence that you'd like to clear up with me before we hopefully bring Todd back on? And oh, you're on your phone, Donna. All right. Well, did you find the connection working well for you tonight? I have to say, some people on my webinars, they're on their phones. I mean, it's a lot of, I'm very verbal. It's like audio a lot of the time. I'm a very verbal person, but I do like to draw too, like diagrams and demo things and use things, like use actual software and stuff. Oh, Dennis uses Dynadot. That's awesome. Do you set up a business for IRS purposes? No, I just have one umbrella. I have one umbrella, and then all the websites and domains underneath that umbrella. Can I put the domains I have in the software to appraise and evaluate? Yes. Cat C says on a laptop. Yeah, John, no problem, man. Appreciate your positivity and enthusiasm. Thanks, man. So yeah, as I was saying, anybody have any holdups? Anyone want me to address anything that wasn't clear, or so hopefully all you guys are getting in, right? Like Verinder is in. After that, after 1,300 webinars, like you learn your folks, you learn about your students. And the industry that I'm in, it's kind of, you could imagine, I have affiliates, all sorts of affiliates would find my products on Click. So I have no control a lot of the time of who's sending people. And after a couple weeks, like even the most jaded, angry student that signed up for someone else's course or something and then bought mine, and it comes in the webinar, he's like, has a consumer mentality or something. I have the most beautiful stories of folks like where they became success stories, and it was really rocky start in the beginning. And listen to Adil Chowdhury, Adil, the owner of Scribble on ClickBank. He bought my webinars when he was, working at McDonald's. And this is like, when I first started, 2011 or something. And he was already kind of doing things, but he was kind of like hard to deal with in the beginning. But then we're like best friends. He was very energetic and pushy in the questions, but blowing up the questions box and being challenging me and stuff. I've had a lot of other students too, like Matthew Neer was one of my students in the questions box, blowing up the questions box. Matthew Sabia, Jeff Lenny. He owns Media Globe now, which is like a agency that does all the Facebook ads for all these celebrities and stuff. Mike Balmaceda too was one of my, I wouldn't say he's a student. I kind of picked his brain as well. We had like a brain picking thing, but I have a webinar where I taught him things, and he was so young. He was like 21 years old, and he went on to do $300 million. He's the top ClickFunnels award winner ever. He just went to the ClickFunnel hacking thing, and he was on stage, and he had 100 million in trophies. I hit him up on the phone. I was like, congratulations, man. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He's like, thanks, King, or something, he's like, thanks, boss, some shit. And he was so persistent, and I felt bad. I think like it, he's the nicest guy, but I think like the last time I had to say no. He said, could we get on a call? I wanted to pick your brain about something. I said, bro, I'm going through a divorce. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I was like, yeah, bro, I have no time today. It was like one of those. And I felt bad, but yeah, he's the nicest guy, bro. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He did kind of the same thing, like where he does products for celebrities. You know what I mean? So he had a really big product on ClickBank that did like 60 million or something with Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson offer. And then he did one with Alex Jones. Yeah, you can't make this up. Caitlyn Jenner, Alex Jones. Yeah, you guys are, yeah, here's all the people who got in so far. Yeah, so Winston got in, Thomas got in, George got in, another George got in, John got in, Verenda got in, Michael got in, Joe got in, Nam got in, and I'll refresh. Oh my gosh. All right, Bruce got in, Steven got in. So you guys are getting in. Yeah, I'm very happy to meet all you guys. I'll be meeting you guys and we'll be really kicking some butt. It'll be amazing. All you guys that I just named are hopefully coming to the mastermind on Monday. If you miss it this Monday, it'll be there next Monday, but also then Wednesday. So I end every mastermind with, all right, guys, I'll see you in 48 hours. I always like being able to say that because I don't like leaving webinars. I kind of stuff like that. I mean, I don't do like what I used to do. Like one time, I think the longest one I ever did was we ended in the morning at like 8 in the morning. So I think that was my record. I think was a 13-hour one. And Susie's done that too. Susie's done that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I did that. I used to have Matthew Neer. I had Isaiah Jackson, Matthew Neer, a bunch of those students. Isaiah Jackson now is one of the top level guys who works at Click Magic, actually. But you know, sometimes like if I was sick or I couldn't get on the webinar on time or something like that, then my students, some of those alumni students started off, which is really interesting, and there's a lot of them are really good. But yeah, that's all about me. I like teaching this stuff, you know what I'm saying? So jump in, use the link right there, or you can use the link in the chat box and sign up for Prime Domains, and let's get started. Make sure that you get in. You're going to love primedomains.ai. You're going to be coming to the webinars. You're going to be, you know, advertising your domain listings in the marketplace. And best of all, the hardest part is finding them. That's where the AI Finder software comes in. You were able to see me demo it. There's no stopping this. All right. The great thing about AI is although there are great domain names in there right now, sure, the ones that you saw a little bit of, they're probably going to be gone the second that we get off the webinar. But the great thing about AI is new ones are always popping up. It's always finding new domains, and it's really strange. You know, a lot of us don't really have the answers about, you know, how AI is working for us, but it really is a game changer, isn't it? So yeah, you guys have been great. Thank you so much. And I look forward to our relationship together. All you guys got in, I really appreciate it. And I'm sure that you're going to appreciate the software. So that's it. We're going to be taking off now, and I will see you guys in email and in the mastermind. And thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for being here. And let's do this. All right. primedomains.ai. It is the wave of the future when it comes to domaining. All right. So sign up below, guys, and I will see you on the masterminds. All right. Later.